Hello, this is a series covering Jesus' 8 Beatitudes from the Sermon on the Mount. Beatitude number 1. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Matthew chapter 5, verse 3. This is very similar to Luke chapter 6, verse 20, where it contains a similar blessing. And I quote, "Blessed are the poor." Now, when we look at these two verses, it leads to some to believe that Jesus is promising here that only the believer who is materially poor will be blessed. Is this true? The Jews of Jesus' days, the ancient Jewish society, they mistakenly equate one's material prosperity with one's spiritual conditions. They were taught that, and I would say some Christians today too, they were taught that good people, meaning the tithe payers, the churchgoers, the charity doers, the do-gooders, can expect outpourings of money and richness and favor from high above. Therefore, at that time, rich people were seen as righteous and blessed, and poor people, as a result, were seen as cursed. This can be even seen by the thinking of Jesus' disciples then. In Matthew chapter 19, verse 23 to 27, Jesus was telling a story about how hard for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. He was explaining to his disciples. In verse 24, Jesus said that it's easier, quote, "easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God," unquote. What is more fascinating is in the way that the disciples replied. Verse 25, the disciple says, well, then who can be saved? That has a strong assumption behind that statement. You see, the disciples were taught that rich people are good people. So when Jesus said that rich people will have a hard time being saved, the disciples answered, well, what about us? We are the not so rich people, we are the poor people. If the rich people will have a hard time being saved, we will be in trouble. In essence, that's what they're trying to say. So in short, the reply of the disciples supports the fact that they were being told that the rich people, the do-gooders, the Pharisees, the scribes, were the righteous ones. Then Jesus taught them in verse 26, he said, and he looked at them with pity and said that with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. So in short, in this Beatitude number 1, what Jesus was really saying was this: blessed are those who are unlike the rich people of your days. Blessed are those who have no confidence in their own goodness and own righteousness and own doings. And to be truly blessed by God, we must first recognize our total spiritual bankruptcy. We may have lots of money, power, or status, and be superbly adept to society, intellectual, but as we stand alone before God, we are absolute sinners. All of us are sinners, and all of us are spiritually bankrupt. Blessed are those who are spiritually poor. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Matthew chapter 5, verse 3.